What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Live Game Season 2, Episode 3, The Average Man's Perspective on Football. I'm your co-host, Marcus. Joining me tonight is Mark. Say what up, Mark.
Hello.
Brian.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon.
What? And Herman.
I don't even know what to say. Hey, what's up?
Before we get started, I want to encourage everyone to go over to our YouTube channel and like, share, and subscribe. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Help us get these views up. I also want to encourage you to go on over to sportsintel.net. That's sportsintel.net for some great commentary on everything sports related. And also, what's the Twitter handle, Brian?
It's at the Live Game 3.
Why you laugh every time I ask you that? You're not
Because you always don't forget.
That's your part. I'm giving you.
I don't get like you. I keep like, well, you gonna forget to say it.
I'm giving you a chance to shine. That's what
I appreciate it, Sean.
I'm letting you shine.
Thank you.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started.
All right. Well, thank you guys for seeing us, joining us again. We have a lot to talk about. A pretty busy week 2 that we're going to review, and a whole lot of NFL information we got to get out to you and have a conversation about, especially with all these quarterbacks going down, these trade rumors. We got a lot to get into, so let's go ahead and get it started, fellas. Last week, we had a few games that we went through. The first game was the Buccaneers against the Panthers. This was the Thursday night game, which was really boring and made me tired. I did not watch the whole game. And because I picked the Panthers, it didn't matter. Kudos to the Bucs. I mean, they deserved the win because they act like they wanted to win it harder. Something's definitely wrong with Cam. It came out this week that he has an ankle injury. But you could tell he wasn't running. He threw the ball a little better. I mean, he did throw it deep a few times, but it's just something wrong with Cam. Herman, how did you feel about this game?
Yeah, same as you. I watched as much as I could until I started to fall asleep. I don't know what the deal is, too, with the Panthers because I feel like they're not running the ball enough. You got, again, I think I said it before, you got one of the best running backs in the league, and you're not using them. I don't know what North Turner is doing. It's almost like they're trying to prove that Cam is not hurt or something. Oh, Cam can throw, so we're going to call 50 or however many, pass plays. And, they should have never lost to the Bucs.
No.
They shouldn't have lost to the Bucs. I don't know where they go from here.
They go down.
Well, yeah, and I picked wrong. The Panthers.
0-2, and you lost to that division. You lost to that division rival. I mean, they were supposed to be the cellar dwellers.
And the crazy thing with we'll get into Drew Brees going down. That division opened wide up.
Yep.
After Sunday, it opened up wide, so they blew a chance.
Mr. Helms, how did you feel about this?
I picked the Panthers just like everyone else. Something's definitely wrong with Cam. He's not playing like Superman like he's supposed to. He definitely is having trouble repeating that MVP season. And I don't even want to talk about his after game attire.
Maybe he's focused more on fashion than football.
He's focused on it, and he's getting that wrong too.
Yeah. But he's failing in that too.
but like you guys said, with Drew Brees going down, that division opened up, and 0-2 is not a good place to be. So,
Last but not least, Mr. Parker.
Yeah, I got a dud in this one. I chose the Panthers. The Bucks had to use like a goal line stand to actually hold off the Panthers for this victory.
Which is another questionable play.
Yeah, but I wasn't impressed. This game was quite decided over by the third quarter to me. I fell asleep at that particular point. I think Cam is definitely he's got some damaged goods. He's not 100%, and then the Bucks, I don't know. James Winston only threw for 208 yards. He didn't look that hot either.
Yeah.
So they both of them got a lot of work to do.
So they said Cam has a foot injury. Is he even starting this week?
They haven't said yet. But he did not practice today.
He didn't practice.
I think it was the same when he hurt in the preseason.
Okay. Yeah.
But just real quick before we get off this game, Mark, you brought up a good point about that fourth down play. When that's how you kind of got to know that something wrong with the quarterback because he's 6'5", 2 humps up. I mean, he's the best goal line quarterback in the league, and you're on the goal line, and you don't even give it to the running back to go up the middle. You have this little trick play where you try to run outside, and it's just not their brand of football. So that was kind of questionable. All right, so we're going to move on from that game, and we're going to go to the Sunday night game, which was the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Atlanta Falcons. In this particular matchup, the Falcons did come out victorious. Mark, how did you have this?
This one I chose the Eagles. I put my faith in those Eagles, and they let me down. The Atlanta Falcons had to use a little short pass from Julio at the last minute to get their victory in. But I chose the Eagles. They didn't do it. Atlanta won it.
What did you think, Mark?
Yeah, I picked the Falcons on this one. The Falcons still don't look as what I expected them to look like. I chose them, I think, to win the division. I think I did, yeah. But the Eagles had a lot of injuries, and I mean that's just a part of football, But they did lose. Like they lost their starting wide receivers to injury, and I can't remember who else went out, but
Alshon Jeffrey went out.
Yeah, Alshon went out, and
Jackson went out.
Deshaun Jackson went out.
And Wentz almost went out because he got some rib shots.
Yeah, he got a nice rib shot.
He came back from. So I mean, yeah, they got injured pretty good, but Philly, everybody's even even before they went out, Philly didn't look that good to me. Watching this game, things aren't quite clicking like they expected it to be, maybe. So I mean, I'm not seeing Philly as this powerhouse that everybody thinks that they're supposed to be this year. So, but Atlanta's definitely not looking good either. So I picked the Falcons. I got it right, and I really only picked the Falcons because it was a home game for them.
Yeah, I had agreed with Mark. I also had went with the Eagles. I thought again the firepower the Eagles had, Deshaun Jackson and what have you, was gonna light up that secondary of the Falcons, whose defense just didn't really look that good to me the first game of the season. Matt Ryan just doesn't. I mean, he's okay. He's just not the quarterback he used to be. I don't know what's wrong with him. He's healthy. He's not that old.
I feel like he's getting protected.
You think it's a protection issue?
I think it might be a protection issue.
I mean, I thought they had like 2 draft picks to shore up.
They lost one of those top offensive linemen in the game too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he did have 3 touchdowns and 320 yards. So I mean.
Yeah, it just I don't know. I guess it doesn't look as smooth as I like to see. It's ugly football.
Yeah, it is.
But I mean, they got the win and they did what they had to do. Marcus, what did you pick?
I picked the Falcons, like Herman said, mainly because it was a home game. And you're right, they just don't like, they definitely don't like that Super Bowl going team they went in 2016 like they did in 2016. It seems off. I don't know why it's so hard for them to recapture that magic. It seems like they still got the same talent they had on offense. But
and they got their running back this year.
Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't...
They're splitting the carries, though. That's the thing. Like, they're almost 50-50 between Freeman and Smith.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So they need to... I don't know. I think
they had a little more with Freeman and when Tevin Coleman was there.
Yeah, it was more Freeman and Coleman came in and spelled, and now it's 50-50. And I think it's messing up a little bit of the game flow for them. At least for Freeman, it is. Sorry, what was you saying, Marcus? I didn't mean to cut you off.
I forgot what I was going to say. Never mind.
Well, on that note, we'll go on to the next game, which was the Monday Nighter. It was the Browns visiting the New York Jets. This game, again, was sort of like the Buccaneers-Panthers game. Very low scoring, not very exciting. A couple big plays from Odell Beckham Jr. He didn't wear the watch. Congratulations.
He did wear watch in
he did wear it in pregame. He took it off before the game. Had a little questionable incident about him and his face mask, which we'll talk about a little later because that was kind of shady.
Yes.
In this particular game, I did pick the Browns. The Browns came out victorious, but I wouldn't be too excited if I was in the Browns land. Marcus, who did you have?
I picked the Browns. Like you said, they didn't look that great. I think it was you, Herman, that sent over WhatsApp. There's something going on with the offensive line because it seems like Baker Mayfield is just running for his life every single play.
Yeah.
And like he just doesn't want to stay in the pocket. He always wants to go out of the pocket.
Yeah. To me that doesn't make sense. I think he has that outside pocket presence, but maybe you should try staying in the pocket for a little bit and
Yeah, how long? Because you're giving. I mean, did not Odell, but what's the other one that came from Miami?
Landry.
Landry, Jarvis
Landry.
Landry.
Was he even a
He
factor
wasn't
in
that
that
much
game?
of a factor, I don't think.
And I think that also when you that rollout, I mean, you're limiting where you can throw to. You're limiting to this side of the field or this side of the field. You don't want to throw across your body, so you probably want to stay in that pocket a little bit more.
I mean, and they are if they're gonna live up to the hype, all the hype from the preseason, they're gonna need to do better than that against a team like the Jets.
Right.
They should have been smoking the Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially considering the Jets were down to their third string quarterback.
Right.
Exactly.
With that gruesome injury. Oh, that
I don't even know how he walked off.
nobody. Yeah. Everybody was like, "That's broke."
Yeah, I thought that was broke.
It was severely sprained, but still,
Landry had 32 receiving yards.
32 yards.
That's
Yeah, that just. Herman, how did you pick this?
I picked the Browns. For one, it was a home game for them. Like you said, it was just ugly football. That was some of the ugliest football, and I just felt like, especially from New York's side
On offense.
on offense, I was like, you had a week, and I get that you're to your second string quarterback, but you had a week. He's been in the league for a while. I saw no game plan from the Jets. It was like they were just. It looked like a preseason game plan almost. Just line up. We'll pass it here. We'll try to run it here. At one point, I was like, man, they're gonna, Le'Veon Bell's not gonna make it out of this game because all they're doing is handing him the ball at this point. So it was just ugly football, and to watch the professional NFL teams play ugly football like that, that was a.
Not just saying, Le'Veon Bell is frustrated. Well, I mean, dude, you went to the Jets.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
What did you expect?
Right, with a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, maybe you should have been
And now he's gone. So.
yeah, maybe you should have been like Antonio and
Second year.
and went to the Patriots.
Oh, I'm sorry, second year.
Went to the Patriots.
Well, he could just, act full and get and move his way out of there.
Yeah, hold out another year, lose another $14 million.
The one positive thing I do gotta say about the Jets is I do love their new uniforms.
You like
They
it?
look
You
tight. I
like
did
it?
like the uniforms. It felt like you were watching the Jags, though.
It did kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Parker, let's finish this out.
The Browns. I chose the Browns in this particular game. For the Cowboys fan, I think you guys would probably love that one-handed catch by Odell. That means now they can start showing that one more so they can show the catch over the Cowboys.
We won that.
We did win that.
But that was a beautiful catch. That was an awesome catch. And their offense is, they're not quite together yet. They're trying to get there. But a lot of the stats was even a lot with them. The Browns threw a little bit more for 305 yards compared to the Jets, 169. But when their quarterback went out, when the backup went out and had to go to the third string, I kind of knew it was trouble for the Jets.
Absolutely. I mean, it was really trouble with the backup, but you're right. But in all those passing yards, I mean, I think Odell had like what, an 89-yard run, catch and run on one of those passes.
Yeah.
He had a total of 161 or
Yeah, he had a good game.
He did.
All right, so we're gonna go to the final game of last week, which was supposed to be the barn burner. It was the Saints against the Rams. Of course, everybody knows Drew Brees got hurt in I think the first quarter. Hit the hand of the defensive lineman. He sprained his thumb. So that game changed dramatically when they had to go to the backup. Needless to say, the Rams did come out victorious at home. Looked pretty good doing it. On this particular game, I went with the Rams, so I finally got something right. Marcus, who'd you go with?
I went with the Saints. And I was totally wrong on that one. Well, I mean, what can you expect if Drew Brees was out in the first quarter? Of course, I wasn't gonna, be right on that one. Rams look good. To me, they look way better than they did in Week 1. Seemed like they were on point. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sure?
Okay.
We're just listening.
I'm hearing all this static. It wasn't there. Is one of you on your phone?
Oh. All right.
Yeah, but they were looking to me. They were looking much better than they did in Week 1. But that was against basically a Drew Brees less Saints. So it is what it is. I really feel sorry for these Saints fans. I was thinking this year was their year. I picked them to win the division. Let's hope they can hold out until Breeze comes back. But if not, then it's like the NFC South is wide open.
Right. Herman, how did you pick this one?
Yeah, I picked the Rams because it was a home game for them. I felt like they would have a little bit of the advantage on the grass as opposed to being in the dome. Seeing Breeze go down was disappointing. I'm interested to see, if Teddy Bridgewater can kind of hold it down. I think Breeze is out 6 to 8 weeks. He has surgery to repair a ligament in his thumb.
And they're actually talking about playing both quarterbacks.
Yeah, Tristan Hill too. What I want to know is what's going on with Gurley and the Rams.
I think they're holding him. I think they're using him sparingly because he has a degenerative knee issue, and I think they're just playing him sparingly.
They're killing my fantasy
right
now.
Yeah. He's not going to be like that workhorse probably until the playoffs.
Yeah, he's definitely not. So we'll see. I mean, the Rams definitely look good. They did what they were supposed to do once.
A couple of them.
Especially, yeah.
How many yards did Gurley have?
I have to go back and look and see what Gurley had. I'll look it up. I'm looking at it right now. I picked the Rams to win that one.
Mark, how did you have this game?
This one I chose the Rams on it, but this game took a crazy turn. There's a play in there where Jordan, the defensive end, had.
It was a clear fumble.
It was a fumble. It wasn't a tuck, really. It was a fumble. It was clearly a fumble. But the refs blew the whistle a little bit prematurely, and he ran like 87 yards for a touchdown. Well, that touchdown wasn't held up. They got the ball, but they didn't get the touchdown. What's funny was they had him mic'd up in the game, and you hear him say, "I ran that long yards for nothing." But I think that play kind of shifted things. The Saints had a lot of momentum with that, especially being being away from home. But I chose the Rams, and the Rams did pull it off. But like for the Saints fan, I mean, I'm pretty sure they think the NFL made it out to get them.
It's not. I mean, I can understand why they would feel that way. I mean, this call obviously wasn't as huge as the playoff call, but
it's like,
that's something we should probably talk about. The officiating.
And another note, the head ref who was there also announcing the game said they were taught to not to blow the whistle on plays like that, to let it play out, and then they can sort out everything. Yeah. So that's what the whistle really came out prematurely. Exactly.
So Gurley had 16 carries, 63 yards, and a touchdown. And then he had 3 receptions for 4 yards.
Okay. About 70 yards.
Yeah, he only averaged 3.9 yards.
Only 3.9 yards a carry. So
yeah, something is wrong. Something's wrong.
Yeah. No, again, I think they're just using him sparingly. I think all the work they're using the other back. What's his name, Brown?
Yeah, but he only had 6 carries for 37 yards. He had a 6.2 average.
Yeah, I mean, Boy Wonder ain't really into the running game, so.
Either McVay.
That's not true. I mean, they were using play action a lot last year. The run was very strong last year. Before
you use play action and not run.
Yeah. But they ran a lot last year. Come on, don't act like Gurley wasn't putting the yards.
Gurley was putting the yards last year.
But they're not using them like.
I guess they're trying to slowly break him in this year.
Which makes McVay looks like either he's going to be a brilliant coach for making this decision, or he's going to look like an idiot for not using him.
Yeah, but I mean, so far they're 2-0. So I mean, they're doing what they need
to do.
Yeah.
So
playing with that.
Just a quick shout out to the Dolphins. You disappointed me terribly. Picked my upset special. You didn't even score. I mean, 43-0, really.
I mean, that was a stupid upset special anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say,
most times they do something.
It's more like those outlandish.
It was outrageous, and they made it even more outrageous.
Okay.
Why you want to pick another? You want to talk about another game?
We could talk. Packers Vikings.
I mean, we could talk about some more games.
Can we talk about Packers Vikings?
Yeah, we still got that.
Oh,
yeah.
We did Packers Vikings first. Did we?
No,
we did Bucks.
We did Packers.
Well, I don't have Packers Vikings on my sheet.
How did you not have that
We
one?
picked
know.
it. We
Yeah, we
picked
picked
it.
All right, well, let's talk about the Packers Vikings. If you roll back the tape, I'll be able to tell you who I picked. More than likely, I picked the Vikings, and I picked it wrong because the Packers came out and did a phenomenal job. Aaron Jones, he ran the ball really well. Aaron Rodgers looked a little more Aaron-like in this particular game. And Kirk Cousins, you're killing me, Cousins. Why would you throw that ball up in the end zone when you had a chance to try to get into this game?
Because it's Kirk Cousins. That's why he did it.
It is. It must be. I mean, just throw that ball away. And it was first down. Now, Cook had a really good play. Had a nice, some long run for a touchdown to try to get him back in the game.
75 yards.
75 yards. But Kirk, man, killing me, Kirk. So I picked this one particularly wrong. Mark, who'd you have?
I took the Packers on this one. You talk about Kirk Cousins, 14 for 32, 230 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and how many fumbles? 2 fumbles.
He had 2 in a row. 2 in a row.
Oh my goodness, that was terrible.
Come on, man. Kirk Cousins known for fumbling. He's
He's known for fumbling. But I think Aaron Rodgers is starting to get in his stride. I have him on my fantasy, and he's doing me well right now. Thank you. But I chose the Packers.
All right, Marcus, you talking all about this game. Who'd you pick?
I picked the Vikings.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did. I picked after last week's performance, with Dalvin Cook doing all he did, I thought it was going to be a win for sure. But I hadn't anticipated. I should have anticipated Kirk Cousins. Eventually he comes down to earth, and the Packers defense is a real thing this year. I don't think it all has to lie on Aaron Rodgers this year. I think his defense is going to step up, and they might be able to go pretty far.
All right, Mr. Triplett, why don't you take us out of this?
Yeah, I picked the Vikings too. I got pulled into that first performance they had week 1. And I still think the Vikings are going to be a good team. I think they'll work this whole thing out. Kirk Cousins will work this whole thing out. They're going to get back to this run game. Dalvin Cook had 154 yards on 20 carries, 75-yard long run, and had a touchdown. So, the Green Bay Minnesota just needs to get back to running the football, some play action. Stop putting it all on Kirk Cousins. He's a good quarterback, in my opinion, and he was a Redskin, so I'm saying that. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's just trying too hard right now.
You think he's feeling that money?
Yeah, I think so. Green Bay, like Mark said, Aaron Rodgers starting to come up a little bit. I'm not convinced yet. He only had 209 yards, 2 touchdowns.
And that's not Aaron
no, because his QBR was 39.9.
Wow, really?
Yes, his QBR was 39.9. So I'm not impressed yet, Aaron. I had one on my bench. I played Dak last week over Aaron Rodgers. So that should tell you something right there.
Well, you should definitely play him this week against Miami.
I am.
He's actually ranked like the #1 quarterback in fantasy right now for this week.
So, yeah, but I picked that one wrong. Like I said, I really thought Minnesota was going to go up there and show their presence in the division.
I mean, stats wise, Minnesota pretty much, outplayed them. They had 421 total yards. Minnesota had more passing yards. They had more rushing yards. Had more average yards per play.
Can you find a turnover stat? That tells you who wins.
Probably that 4 over.
Okay, well, Minnesota had two fumbles lost. Green Bay had 2 fumbles lost.
Yeah,
but Green Bay had no interceptions. Minnesota had 2.
Right. There you go. Most of the time you look at that stat, you can determine who's going to win and who's going to lose. You can't try to get the ball over 4 times.
Minnesota actually had 5 fumbles in the game.
Yeah.
They only turned it over twice.
You got to protect that ball. If you want to win in NFL, you got to
protect the ball. Yep.
All right, so at the end of this week, I was 2-3, so not a good week for Brian. Where were you at, Marcus?
I think I was 2-3 as well. I think I was
okay.
I was either 2-3 or 3-2. I'm not for sure.
Well, I mean, it's just
Come on,
math.
man, right?
It's just math.
Keep a count.
Mark, where were you at?
3-2.
Herman, how were you?
I Dallas 3-2.
All right, not bad, not bad. I'll try to work on it and do better this week. So let's get into some of this NFL news. A few topics we want to just kind of cover real quick, and then we'll go over the games for this week that we decided to pick on. The first topic we're going to talk about is the rash of quarterback injuries in the NFL. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quarterbacks. Most of them starting, a couple of backup that are injured and are either out for a significant amount of time or actually out for the season. The first one we're going to talk about is Drew Brees. Again, Drew Brees, they lost to the Rams. They were what's his name? The best defensive player in the game.
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald. Hit Aaron Donald while trying to throw the ball. Thumb hit Aaron Donald's hand. You can see it. They had a shot of him on the sideline just trying to pick up a football. Couldn't even pick it up. Went to grab it. It fell on the ground. He's supposed to be out for about 6 weeks. Getting surgery, I believe, today. They got Bridgewater and the other gentleman.
Tyson Hill.
Yeah, Hill. And from the way that the coach is talking now, he's trying to play coy, saying that he's not going to name a starter as of yet. Listening to some of the pundits and everything, they feel pretty comfortable with Bridgewater. And I mean, you figure the Saints are paying him a regular quarterback salary, a starting quarterback salary, to be a backup. So, I mean, with the defense the way they're playing, I mean, they still got a chance in this. How do you think, Marcus?
I'm not sure. Like I said, if they're gonna hold on, Teddy Bridgewater, that 1 year he started in Minnesota, he was pretty good. If they can hold on, maybe if he's out 6 weeks, is any of that 6 weeks a bye week or no? We don't know.
I'll look at the schedule while you're talking.
If there's a bye week in there, that's even better. If not, if they can win 2-3 games, maybe they can stay in contention. Because, in all honesty, the NFC South isn't looking that strong this year.
Right. Who's going to take it over at this particular point?
Well, the Falcons could.
The Falcons could, but they're not looking that strong.
They're not. But I mean, if you get on a roll, the most important thing is that you win your divisional games.
Yep.
That's true.
So.
Herman, go ahead.
Go ahead,
like I said, if they can, keep the losses down, like I said, maybe win 2 or 3 games, maybe only lose 3, and Brees can actually come back and be effective, then they still got a chance of pulling this out. But, it's just sad to see, because I really thought this was their year. They could make it to the Super Bowl and give the Patriots run for the money. So
yeah, I mean, you got one of the best offensive head coaches with one of the best offensive minds in the game. You still got one of the most dynamic running backs in the game with Kamara. You still got arguably the best wide receiver in Thomas. Tight end, they're all right.
Well, I'm gonna give y'all their schedule, and no, there is no bye week coming up while he's out. They got Seattle.
Lost.
Oh, Lord.
They got Dallas.
Lost.
They got Tampa Bay.
Win.
They could very well lose that game. It's in Tampa Bay. I'm sorry, it's a home game. They got Jacksonville.
Win.
They could win that.
They got Chicago.
Toss.
That's a loss.
That's a toss-up.
That's at Chicago. That's a loss.
Have you seen how Chicago offense play?
That's still a loss.
Chicago's
defense will carry them, in my opinion. And then they got Arizona, and then they have a bye week.
Okay. Ain't none of them no guarantees, but I don't know. I like Tampa enough. I like Arizona.
I think if Bridgewater can just keep it afloat, I think he was a Pro Bowl quarterback at one time. He made the Pro Bowl. I think it was the second, third year. It's just a matter of him not turning the ball over, playing smart, which I think that Peyton will have him pretty much well coached to do that. What's interesting is they talked about maybe putting Hill in there. They didn't really want to kind of shatter or mess up his confidence. You think about he's trying to get in there, trying to get a rhythm. You don't want to have another quarterback you got to keep looking over your shoulder for. But I think if you keep bringing him in as a option or have defenses prepared for him, you don't really know what to look out for it. So that's a smart idea. I think that they should go with it. But I think they'll be okay. I think they'll be good.
I don't particularly like. I didn't like it when they did it with Drew Brees when Hill play in plays. And I think that if they do this with Bridgewater, and I think they're going to do it more, it's going to cause a problem for Bridgewater.
I think it's confident.
In my opinion, I don't think Bridgewater, not just his confidence. I don't think he needs to stay into a rhythm. Brees can break Brees' rhythm, and him and Sean Payton are so close and so
they think alike.
So much alike that he can miss that and move right on to the next beat. And it's not going to be that way with Bridgewater. But I think you're going to see increasing of Hill coming in, and it's going to mess with things. So.
But it's something to think about the plan for, though. You got to think about it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's true. But I mean, usually when Hill comes in, they run some type of,
gimmick play.
Yeah, it's a gimmick play anyway. So.
All right. So the next quarterback that got injured is near and dear to my friend to the right. Ben Roethlisberger went out
first quarter
with an elbow injury. Had a season-ending injury. They now have
Mason Rudolph
as their quarterback, who didn't look bad, but they got a long way to go. The Steelers also picked up Minkah Fitzpatrick in a trade, gave him a first-round pick, which stirred up a couple questions where people felt like, hey, why are you trading for this corner/safety when your quarterback who's older and has talked about retirement? Maybe you need that pick to get another quarterback. So does that mean that Pittsburgh feels comfortable with Mason Rudolph, that he's the future, and we can do this to try to help our defense this year? Or how is this season going to play out? So we're going to make him go last. We're going to start with Herman.
Yeah. I didn't. How was he out there hurt?
It was hurt before the game.
Yeah. And how was he out there playing? I'm totally baffled. Like I thought, when I heard he got hurt, he went out. I thought he got hurt during the game.
Non-contact injury.
Yeah. Then I saw it. I was like, well, okay, so he must have already been kind of hurt or whatever. But that part I definitely don't understand. I think the trade for Fitzpatrick, you look at it like this. And this is why you'll see teams trade first rounders. If you have confidence that your team's going to be playoff, Super Bowl contention, that first rounder is going to be late in the first round, and you're not going to take a quarterback that low. You're not going to get a quality quarterback that low to replace like a franchise quarterback anyway. So that's probably the thinking that they had on that note. And you got to be thinking too that you need to shore up. Now your strong part of your team is going to be your defense. So why not make it stronger? Especially because your offense, you weren't going to trade for a quarterback at that point. So you might as well strengthen your defense to say, okay, if the offense cannot put us in bad situations and just score some points, we'll shore up our defense even more, and maybe our defense can get a turnover or two that helps out the offense. So I think that's probably what the thinking would be if I was the GM for the Steelers. And I still wouldn't understand why Roethlisberger.
Well, Roethlisberger is like a god over there. I mean, he basically has carte blanche and basically he obviously must have said, I'm fine and I want to play. And they said, okay, Ben, do your thing.
But if that was the case, dumb on them. Because now you've lost your starting quarterback for the year.
And this is an injury you don't even see in the NFL a lot. This is Tommy John surgery or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah. Tommy John?
Yeah. The last one to have it was Andy Dalton. He was the last one to have it in the NFL.
I don't know if Ben makes it back from that.
He said it. I mean, he's already said on Instagram that he's going to honor his contract.
But he's old.
He is old. But
Tommy John is a serious surgery though.
Yeah, I think this might be the end of the Ben Roethlisberger area.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Pittsburgh. I mean, he, for years he's been talking about retiring, and so this is a serious injury. He's out. This is the first time he ever missed a whole year, right? This is the first time he's ever missed a whole year.
Mark.
Yeah. He got injured he got injured before we missed a number of games before, but he had not lost the entire season out of it. Yeah.
What the Steelers should have traded for? They should have traded for Eli Manning. Got old Eli.
No.
Man,
Somebody else need to get Eli. Somebody else need to get him.
I thought maybe that's what the Giants were thinking. Like maybe Pittsburgh would try to come get him now.
Let me just say this. Steelers fans, don't go to the ledge. Come back.
Oh, says the guy.
Yeah, y'all should definitely go to the edge.
We about to talk about something else more.
This pickup of Fitzpatrick was a move, letting everybody know that Ben Roethlisberger will be back next year. He will be fine. Settle down. It's okay. One of the reasons why, if you figure if the Steelers don't too well this year, they end up getting a high draft pick. You weren't going to use the high draft pick to get a quarterback, no.
Yeah,
So therefore, you invested in a lot. We need help a lot in the secondary still. We can't stop nobody. We can't tackle. They need help defensively. I think the offense will be fine, but Ben will be back next year. He'll be back. I got him playing at least 2 more years. He's playing out this contract.
How old is he?
Ben is 37. 37.
I think he's 37. Yeah, I don't know, man. He's getting old.
And he actually talked to a couple of people who've had the surgery, and they gave him confidence. He can come back strong after this.
37.
I don't know. I think
And I mean, Tommy John surgery. I mean, I know pitchers come back from it on a regular basis.
Young ones do.
Yeah, but they ain't taking. They're not taking that beat up that football players take.
Nobody's hitting them as they throw the baseball.
That's true.
Just keep them in your head, Mark.
Yeah.
And if this, the rookie, or he's not a rookie, he's a second year.
His second year.
If he lights it up, it's no going back. Ask Tony Romo.
I'll tell you, man.
That's a different situation.
Tell Mike Tomlin to reach out to the Giants and go ahead and get Eli down there.
Let's say he takes them. Let's say he takes them to AFC Championship.
Please,
He still ain't been.
I'm just giving a hypothetical.
He ain't been.
No.
So you're going back to Ben next
I'm
year?
going back to the Ben.
You're crazy.
Yeah.
Football is a meritocracy.
Hey, Marcus, what you think about this? If Jaguars can make a trade for Eli, you think that'll be a good move? You think they should do it?
Who they gonna trade?
I think they should.
Okay, number one, that's in a different part of the conversation.
I don't know about for Ramsey, but
I think they should.
I think it'll be a good move for him.
The question is not necessarily.
Why would he want to go to Jacksonville?
Right.
He'll have to sign off to it.
He's there. Why would he
want to?
Why would you want to sit on the bench and ride the bench in New York?
He's with familiar territory.
Right, he's got
confidence.
The Jaguars aren't going anywhere. The Jaguars are not going
They're
to
going further than the Giants, possibly.
You're still sitting at home in the playoffs. What difference does it make? I mean,
hey, but at least you had a better chance. Come on. You know the Giants are going nowhere in the NFC.
But he will go.
They might with Daniel Jones.
He will go with an organization that probably we relying a lot more on than what the Giants would be.
They were talking about how Daniel Jones, Eli's lack of mobility kind of hurt them, and that because the offensive line isn't great, maybe Daniel Jones could get out the pocket
and run for his life better than Eli. Basically, that's the translation.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, they got Golden Tate coming back in 2 more weeks.
And they got Saquon. So I mean, hey, you never know. Daniel Jones might walk in there and turn things around.
So the next 2 quarterbacks we're gonna go through real quick. Just to mention, Nick Foles, we all know it hurt his collarbone. He's out for 2 months. Sam Darnold got mono.
How do you
don't you get mono kissing? Yeah.
Well, not just kissing, y'all. You can be coughed on. You can
most commonly
other ways. Everybody just knows it.
Most commonly is known as a kissing.
Stop kissing everybody, Sam Darnold. Shame on you. But then the backup Simeon played, and he broke his ankle, and he's out. So they're on their 3rd string quarterback, and probably need to find a backup for him.
They need to go sign. You know they need to go sign.
They're not calling him.
Eli again?
No, calling him.
Go sign Kaepernick.
Kaepernick.
You know that's not happening.
I'm just saying.
That's not happening.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
He's been working out.
Did I hear that?
They need to sign Eli.
The Steelers were talking to the Kaepernick?
They made some chat about it.
Yeah, a couple teams.
But Carolina was another team that was in the
North Turner could probably work the same magic he worked
I
last
think
year
so.
with
I think so. I think he
Yeah.
could.
What magic did he work?
He had Cam looking pretty good last year.
I'm sorry. Did they make the playoffs? No.
No.
His
Cam
numbers was
Cam got
good.
hurt.
Cam got what? He was the
Cam was
year
hurt
before
last
last.
year.
What was the first year that he was his
This
OC?
was, yeah,
Last year was the
last
first
year was
year, but he got hurt. Cam got hurt
He was
before.
looking good.
Yeah.
But just like an update on Sam Darnold, he had talked to the media today, and him and his doctors were hoping to have progress enough where he may actually be able to start for the Eagles game, which I think is week 5 of the NFL season, where other people are saying like months, and that this thing is no telling. It takes all your energy, and you got to get on the weight back.
Clean up too.
Yeah, it's really worse. It's way worse when you get it when you're older.
Well, I don't understand how a grown man get mono. That's just
He kissed a lot of little girls.
Kissing something. He was kissing on something. Something on somebody.
kiss on something. He should have been kissing.
And then last but not least, speaking of, we've talked about Cam. Cam hurt his foot again, another sprain. Right now, the Panthers are not giving a timetable on Cam's availability. Not that he was doing that great anyway. Shoulder, ankle, other shoulder. I mean, Cam just getting beat up.
Post-game attire.
Oh,
It's just not working for Cam right now.
yeah. So that's pretty much on the injuries of the quarterbacks going on right now. It changed a lot of teams' dreams, and it changed a lot of how you see where the NFL is going to go, what teams might make the playoffs. Opens up the door for some. It seems like it closes the door for a lot.
What team do you think is most devastated by the injury, the quarterback?
I'd say the Steelers.
Yeah,
I say New Orleans.
I say Steelers.
I don't know. I like you were saying. I don't know. I just with Sean Payton, with them. I mean, they went and got Bridgewater for a reason. They're paying him, so they must see something in practice or something that made him feel comfortable enough to spend that type of money. And it's not like Bridgewater only lost his job because he got hurt.
And the reason why I say too, Bridgewater he has experience. Mason Rudolph really don't have experience. So I think New Orleans is a little bit better off based on that.
But see, my opinion is because of how close and how in tune Sean Payton and Drew Brees were. Like they were like one mind. And when you break that, it's going to change the dynamic of everything.
Oh, yeah, they're absolutely not going to be as much, but they got a better chance than.
Mason Rudolph can go out there and ball out and just play because no one's expecting anything from him. You know what I mean? Just like Dak did when Romo went down. Nobody was expecting anything from Dak. That's the approach that Mason Rudolph has to take. If the Steelers can run the football, you know, and Mason Rudolph doesn't put them in bad situations, the Steelers will continue to win. I think that this is just a huge blow to New Orleans because of how Sean Payton and Brees.
But they don't lose Brees for the whole entire season. Pittsburgh does.
We don't know if Brees will be back in 8 weeks. You know, that's the time frame. You know, you just that you don't know. If it doesn't heal the way it should, or rehab doesn't go the way you think it should, that 8 weeks can turn to 10.
Kick in.
Yeah, you know, and you're talking about his throwing hand. It is the key. You can't rush it back. You have one setback and he's done.
But see, I would agree with you, but I think this was a crucial year for the Steelers. You know, this is the first year without AB and Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah,
they were out to prove something.
They had a lot to prove. You know, get back to the playoffs. Maybe give the Patriots a run for their money. Maybe give the Chiefs a run for their money. Which, you know, I don't know what Mason's Rudolph numbers are, but you know, he's not the starting coach. He's not Big Ben, so I think and Big Ben's gone for the whole season for sure. So
yeah,
I guess we'll see.
We got Brees at 40 trying to rehab, and Roethlisberger at 37 trying to rehab. So some other new news that came out was during the Jacksonville game. I'm sure everybody saw the little tirade on the sideline between Jalen Ramsey and his head coach. After the game, word got out that Ramsey wants to be traded. The most updated information I got that the two NFL teams have offered the Jaguars a first-round draft pick. The article did not state what two teams they were.
Redskins.
no,
What?
It's the Chiefs.
Redskins.
Did he not see Toast all day, son?
Yeah,
Did he not see Toast?
They said that we're in that list too. So.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. We were in the list for Minka Fitzpatrick.
We're not, yeah, but I don't think Ramsey has.
So, Marcus, who do you think the two teams are?
The Chiefs can
The
use
Chiefs
him.
are
The Chiefs need him. He would be the catalyst to maybe be able to beat New England because their defense still isn't all that great. So
the Chiefs or the New
the
England.
Chiefs.
Oh, okay, I was about to say. Okay, go ahead.
The defense is still all that great. The other team, I don't know. Where you get Redskins from, Mark?
They were in the list.
Redskins are always on that list.
Because of your owner,
Because
Snyder.
your cornerbacks right now,
And
between
your
Burnt and Burnt.
Your defense is
I
real
think
suspect.
I think that's scheme. There's no way that Norman is supposed to be out there by himself.
Let me tell you, that's not scheme. But go back and look at the first
touchdown. Which play you talking about when he got smoked? I mean, there was so many.
I'm gonna tell you
I
why.
know that's what I'm saying. I think it's scheme. Why are you always out there by himself?
It's not scheme. If you go back and look at the very first touchdown that Dallas scored, okay, they say Norman thought he was going to get safety help, okay, which he looks like he should have had safety help. But this is the key. Norman slows down, and he has nobody else to cover but the guy and double him with the safety. Norman just gave up on the play. If you go back and watch that very first touchdown,
I had to go back and look at it.
He slows down, and the safety never comes over.
You ain't got it on the highlight reel.
And Norman's responsibility still has to have been the where I was saying the double. I don't think it's scheme. It's toast.
How he fall off that quick?
I don't know.
He was
you
not that good
saw
last
that one play where they threw it to Gallup, and I swear he gave him like a 30-yard.
Yeah, I saw that.
He had been burned so much. He didn't want to get burned.
I ain't get burned. You no more.
But yeah, go back and look at it. I'm telling you, that's all on Josh Norman. Now, the previous week, I think it was the exact same situation because it looked like the same play that the Eagles ran with Deshaun Jackson. Again,
but I didn't see his safety nowhere in there.
He wasn't, but Norman has no other responsibilities. That's what I'm saying. It's not like Norman is supposed to drop off.
Why would you stop? There's nobody else to check.
Right. He's supposed to stay and double that person, and Norman doesn't do it.
Well, either he being he going rogue out there or scheme, I believe. Either he going rogue.
We're gonna buy you a Norman jersey.
Whatever. You ain't buy me nothing.
Just give him some bread and throw it in the toaster.
But I think definitely the Chiefs could use him. I don't know who the other team would be, but I think the Chiefs would be stupid not to grab him.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs would definitely be. And it was an AFC team and an NFC team from what I read.
But don't forget, not only do you have to give up the draft picks, which is going to be more than just a first. You gotta pay this dude, and he wants to be the highest paid corner. So
okay, so you get him now because let's be real, the Chiefs in what 2 years, they're going to have to pay Mahomes.
That's what I was just going to say. They have to pay him next year.
I think
this is his third year, right?
Yeah,
because he didn't start his first year.
Yeah,
he started over last year. He started this year. Now after this year, he's ready to negotiate.
And they're going to make him the highest paid quarterback.
Absolutely.
Right. And so you got to back the truck up to him. Can you back up the truck to Jalen Ramsey too, and lose a draft pick?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Or draft picks. That's
they said they wanted 2 first-round draft picks for him.
Yeah, they know they're not going to get that though. That's just so that they can try to get like a first and a third probably. But
I don't know. But he is. I mean, he's only 24. He's in his prime. I mean, they could definitely use him.
This is why when you look at the Steelers trade for Fitzpatrick, it makes so much more sense. He's still 3 years. They got 3 years left on his rookie deal, so they don't have to negotiate with him for another 2 years at least. You've kind of recouped that first rounder at that point somehow or another. But
Cowboys take him. They don't even want. They don't want to pay Dak, so I don't know how they go.
Oh, we're gonna pay Dak. It's Dak.
We got.
Okay. Every week his price goes up.
It does. I'll agree with that.
Yeah, but I mean, it can only go up so high.
I can get to that 40. Yeah.
I mean, we already discussed that. We're not doing 40. So.
They're not gonna make him the highest paid quarterback in the league.
No, I don't think so.
And Dak has already stated that he doesn't have to be the highest paid quarterback.
But he wants to pay people more than golf and win.
Yeah,
he understands that.
We're in the golf range right now.
He understands that if he keeps it at a moderate scale, he can do more with the team.
Yeah,
so
who is the highest paid quarterback right now? Russell Wilson?
I think so.
I think it is. Wilson's at 35 a year.
Yeah, his contract was like a short contract though.
Somebody just got to come. Golf ain't making more than Wilson.
I think Wilson.
Golf wins, and I think Wilson's the highest paid right now.
Yeah,
I think Wilson is.
Still don't pick.
Huh?
Still not pick.
Okay, so just real quick, we're going to have a quick discussion about Eli being benched, and then we're going to get to these picks real quick. How do you guys feel about it, and do you think that Daniel Jones is going to make a difference? Herman.
I feel like I feel like they wronged Eli. In my opinion, I think Eli should have actually not even started this season. I think they should have started with Jones. It's almost like they made it look like now we're 0-2. Eli lost us the 2 games, and we're gonna bench him. That wasn't respectful to me. I think you should have just brought him in, sat him down, and said, "Look, Eli, we're gonna roll with the rookie, and we'd like you to back him up and mentor him, and leave it at that." Like I said, it's like you put him out there to make it look like he got your team to 0-2, and it was wrong. They talked about wanting to honor this future Hall of Famer, but they dirted him, in my opinion.
Marcus, how do you feel?
I mean, I believe in Eli, but I
Can't
mean,
spell Eli without elite, or
that's
can't spell
right.
elite without Eli.
But the crazy thing is Eli's record right now is like he's at 500. He's exactly at 500. His
116 and 116.
yeah. So if it wasn't like Herman just said, future Hall of Famer. If it wasn't for those two
He is
Super,
a future Hall of Famer.
Herman
Yeah,
said
he
it.
is.
If it wasn't for
I'm
those,
asking you. I'm asking you.
I don't
You're crazy if you don't think
listen.
Eli get his Hall of
Here's
Fame.
the only reason he makes it to the Hall of Fame: those two Super Bowl wins against the Patriots. That's it. That's all. But everything else has not been that great in Eli's career. Everything else has not been
Is he
that
a first time ballot Hall of Fame? First time?
probably. I mean, because his last name was Manning, probably so.
Yep, I was going to say the same thing.
Because his last name was Manning, probably so.
I agree. He may be able to get in there, but maybe not first ballot. Maybe.
Maybe he's getting in
Yeah.
I mean,
off the name of the 2 Super Bowl wins.
yeah. But
I mean, remember he ended undefeated. He didn't, but he was the quarterback, and they get all the credit for ending the undefeated
Patriots,
season.
yeah, and he was the Super Bowl MVP twice in both of those
Yeah.
wins.
So yeah, that's
Because they couldn't give it to the four defensive linemen that
Right.
actually won the game.
right.
So
Brian, so what you said, the defense is basically
I think the defense is, yeah,
was
because
the reason why he was able to get those
I know one of
championships.
those Super Bowls they only scored like 17 points, and I can't remember, but they didn't like have no offensive onslaught on there.
That was the first.
And if you remember both of those Super Bowls, there was some dramatic or exotic play, the helmet catch and all that other crap. Eli, who should have been in the grass, they got out and ran through that ball. But that's my Cowboy hatred coming out. I ain't gonna bring that up. Eli probably will be a Hall of Famer, but I agree with Mark. I don't think he's gonna be first ballot.
I think he probably will be.
Yeah.
His last name would ensure that.
Okay.
And who's going in.
And the way the Giants handle it, Herman is right. When you saw how well Daniel Jones progressed in the preseason, and you saw what Eli did last year, why even let him start? Just go ahead and start the rookie. Let him struggle and then bring Eli back in. But now you're doing it now. The only way Eli's going to come back is if the guy gets injured. So.
And you made him a 500 quarterback too by letting him go in there and lose 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So they dirted him.
Yeah, that's probably the worst part. Now he's a 500 quarterback because of those 2 games.
All right, so we are running out of time, so we're going to move it along. We're going to get on to these games of this week coming up. A lot of good football coming on. Get your TV, get your popcorn ready on Sunday. Thursday, it actually starts tomorrow. Tomorrow we got the Titans and the Jaguars. The Titans are giving up 2 points. They're the away team. They're giving up 2 points. Jaguars do come in here with the number 2 ranked defense, giving up about 182.5 yards per game. We got this Jaguar offense with this new rookie quarterback whose name I cannot pronounce. Disgruntled defensive back who claims that he's focused on this game and he just wants to be excited to play. So we're going to get into this real quick. We're going to start it off with Mark.
Gardner Minshew is his name. Jacksonville's got too much. Jacksonville got too much turmoil going on with them. I think if Titans can run the ball with Henry, Mariota just don't throw all crazy picks. I think the Titans can win this game, even though they're playing in Jacksonville. I'm taking the Titans all the way.
I agree with Mark on this one. I'm going with the Titans as well. Just too much going on that Jaguar sideline. Although the quarterback, what's his name again? Hachu. Bless you. He looked pretty good. He didn't look too rattled, you know. So I mean, there's an option. I mean, if they could get the running game going, I mean, they could have almost won that game last week. You know, they tried to go for the 2 point conversion and didn't end up working out for Leonard. You know, but they did okay. So, but I just like the Titans a lot better in this game. Herman, who you got?
Yeah, I went with the Titans too. When you lose your starting quarterback, it's hard. So I think that with Henry running the ball, even though it's a road game, it's a divisional game. I feel like the Titans, they have a few weapons. Delaney Walker, he's like, to me, he's very underrated tight end. Nobody really pays attention.
Yeah, he's very underrated.
Yeah, he got hurt last year.
He got hurt last year.
Yeah.
One play in that game last week, you see they did the tackle eligible and one of the linemen caught a touchdown.
Yeah, I saw that. So I'm going with the Titans on this one.
All right, Marcus, round it out.
I'm gonna go with the Titans as well. Like Mark said, Jacksonville's in disarray. Titans they're looking pretty good. Henry running the ball, and like I said, Walker as tight end, and Marcus Mariota. He hasn't been spectacular, but he's doing enough. So I think they'll pull it out.
All right, so the next one we got on the docket is the Sunday Nighter. That is the Rams, the Los Angeles Rams, against the Cleveland Browns. We got the Rams with the number 5 ranked defense. I bet you didn't know that. And the number 13 ranked offense. Difference. So they're doing it more with defense than they are with offense so far. But the Browns got a little bit of defense on their own. They do have Myles Garrett on that line, who is leading the NFL with 5 sacks. And, of course, you can't talk about the Browns without talking about Odell Beckham, who's number 4 in receiving right now, giving up 232 yards. The Rams do come in this game giving up 2.5 points by Vegas. Marcus, who you got?
I'm gonna have to take the Rams. They got Aaron Donald on that defense, and Baker Mayfield already running around like he's crazy. He really gonna be running around like he's crazy on Sunday night. And I would hope the Browns can be able to pull it out, but I just don't. Not against a team like the Rams. Rams are too good, and like I said, Aaron Donald is just going to probably eat that offensive line up and have Baker Mayfield just run around in circles all night. So, the Rams.
Herman?
I'm going with the Rams too. I don't even think this is going to be a close game. I think the Rams are going to. You might see a scoring frenzy on the Browns. I think that Aaron Donald probably gets a couple sacks and maybe even forces a fumble. This is probably going to be halftime and try to be over. I don't believe in the Browns. I just don't. I'm so tired of hearing about Beckham. These one-handed catches. They don't mean nothing to me unless you one-handed catch it in the Super Bowl and win the game with it. It's catch.
It's some great catches though, huh?
They are great.
They're the same. If my receiver goes 10 yards and catches it with one hand, and he goes 10 yards and another receiver goes 10 yards and catches it with 2 hands, guess what? It's a 10-yard catch. I don't care.
It does look pretty. It does look great.
Tired of it.
So I'll agree with you fellas. I'm going with the Rams. I'm with Herman. I don't think this game is going to be close. This is one of the top echelon NFL teams versus an up-and-comer who didn't really play that well against the Jets. I just don't see the firepower. I see the Browns throwing interceptions, like I say, getting sacked. I mean, when he gets rattled, he's not the best quarterback anyway, and the Jets' defensive line is nowhere near as good as the Rams' defensive line. So give me the Rams.
I'm gonna round it out. I think I'm gonna go with the Rams on this one too. I think you can get this Ram offense woken up at some point. I think this might be the game you get it woken up. I'm taking the Rams all the way.
All right. So the next game we got on the docket is a Monday nighter. The Chicago Bears versus the Washington Redskins. Chicago Bears are coming in D.C. giving up 4.5 points in this game. Bears still got a great defense, number 4 ranked overall. Offense is ranked 30th. And remember, we only got 32 teams, so woo! On the other side, we got the Redskins with that 25 ranked offense, and the 30th ranked defense was really surprising when I was looking at the stats. The Redskins was holding their hat on how well their defense was going to be this year, but it's just not turning out for them so far this one. I don't think we're going to have a whole lot of debate on this one, so we'll start it off with her.
Whoa.
We'll start it off with her.
I start on this one. Okay?
Oh, sir, you are last.
So we can dog his team out.
You are last, sir.
The Bears.
Mr. Parker.
For 20 years, nobody has been worse on Monday night other than the Redskins. There's no way I'm picking the Redskins. The Bears.
Mr. Marcus, I will let you go.
Yeah, I can kick rocks, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, I'm picking the Skins
We know that.
for no other good reason because I'm picking the Skins.
He can long wolf it. Then.
So I was going to let you lone wolf at Marcus, but I actually agree with you. I think Washington is going to
Thank
win
you.
this game.
Hell.
The Bears were
Can you check
terrible
him?
last week. They had to scramble and get a lucky play down the field just to win. Trubisky is abomination. The Redskins have some offense, no question. They're putting up yards offensively. Defensively, they need to get it
For
together.
one quarter.
Yeah,
Dude,
but
what?
I just don't see it. I just don't see
Oh
it.
my
So
goodness.
disappointed right
So I'm gonna go with the Skins on this one.
The Skins
I'll
like-
probably regret it next week, but
The Skins are like one step above the Dolphins right now.
Hey, we are not. We are way better than
Chicago's not much better either. They just got a defense. That's all they got is a defense.
Dude.
How
And
dare how
if
dare
Gruden
you?
gets his butt out his head
Your
and
quarter-
lets Adrian Peterson run the goddamn ball out of the I formation like he's supposed to.
He doesn't want to run the ball from north and south.
Yeah, I know. You know, he wants to run it east and west. 'Cause that's
Yeah.
how you get first down. But that's a whole nother conversation we can get into.
Yeah. Let's move to the next.
All right, next game. Now this one. This is a game. I think this might be the game of the week. Between these last two games, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, I'm debating watching this game over watching my boys stumble on Miami. We got the Baltimore Ravens coming into the Kansas City Chiefs stadium. Chiefs are giving up 6.5. You got Marquise Hollywood Brown, cousin of Mark's old buddy, Antonio Brown. Lead number 3 in the league with 223 reception yards. We got the Ravens who have the number 1
offense.
Deep offense. Very good. Number 1 offense, 541.5 yards a game. Number 2 defense. Number 1 in offense, number 2 in defense.
Really?
Hard to beat that against this Chiefs. Mahomes with the number 1 in passing right now, 821 yards in only 2 games, 7 touchdowns. Goose eggs and the interceptions. Who you got on this one, Mr. Parker?
Ravens played them real well last year. I think they were just a play away from beating them. With that said, I think they go in the Arrowhead. I think they get their first loss this week. I'm taking the Chiefs on this one. And you took the Redskins?
Yeah,
I'm about to beat all y'all mics, y'all.
Marcus, since they still debating the Redskin pick, who did you have?
You know, I think, like you said, this might be the best game of the week. You know, I didn't know the Ravens had a number 2 defense. I'm going to pick the Chiefs, but I think it's going to be a shootout because, like I said, the Chiefs' defense isn't all that great, and it's just hard to stop Mahomes and the KC's offense. I think this is going to be a shootout. I think there's going to be so many yards in this game. It's like this is going to be what the Rams and the Rams and the Chiefs were last year. I think this is going to be that game. So, but I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
If the Ravens were smart, they would slow this game down. They have the ability to run the ball on that Chiefs defense. They have the ability to get down there, score points, keep Mahomes' butt on the sideline. The question is, are they going to be smart enough to do it? I think the Chiefs are going to win this game. I have to agree with you too, gentlemen. That team's a machine. They scored 28 points in 1 quarter. Enough points to win a game in 1 quarter. That is ridiculous. Now, was the Raiders. Of course, the Ravens defense is 3 times better than that. But, I mean, how are you going to slow them down? And it falls back basically down to the quarterback play. And you can't take anything from the Ravens quarterback. That dude's thrown 7 touchdowns, 0 picks too. And he's rushed for like more rushing yards than any quarterback has in the first whatever season. I forgot the stat. But give me these Chiefs. All right, Mr. Triplett, this is up.
Yeah, I'm looking at these stats, man. This is crazy. The Ravens are scoring 41 points a game. The Chiefs are scoring 34 points a game. But what Brian said would be the game plan, and that would be to run the football for the Ravens. They're averaging like 223 yards per game, whereas Kansas City's only averaging 72 yards per game. So that would obviously be the key, would be to slow it down, run the football, keep the Chiefs offense off the field. I'm going with the Chiefs on this one. This should be a great game. If this was a road game for the Chiefs, it would probably be even harder to pick. For me, it's hard for teams to go into Arrowhead and win. So that's one of the main reasons I'm picking the Chiefs, and the fact that their offense is just so explosive. They're averaging 405 pass yards per game. It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, Mahomes is already on point to break the shatter the records he did last year.
So I'm going with the Chiefs.
All right, so we haven't had a lone wolf yet. We got one more to go through.
We just had Wolfpack. We just had Wolfpack though.
We done had a few of those. I think only one we disagreed on was the Bears and the Skins.
The Redskins?
Hey, man.
So the final game we're gonna go through is the 4:25 Sunday pick. The Texans are going to the Chargers. Chargers giving up 3.5. The Texans, I mean, it's not a whole lot of big stats with them. They're number 5 in rushing. The Chargers, they're number 4 in offense. Over almost 430 yards a game. Did you know Thomas Davis is leading the league in sacks? 26.
Oh, man,
Thomas Davis from the Panthers,
who
is there now, is leading the league in sacks.
This is like his 15th year.
Sorry, not sacks. Tackles. Just at 26. This is going to be another good game too. The only thing that worries me is Deshaun Watson. Is he going to make it through the whole game? That's the only thing I'm worried about because their offensive line just doesn't protect him or he holds the ball too long. But that guy's always taking some type of brutal hit, and it seems like it's going to take one, and he's going to be out the game. Just for that particular reason, and because the Chargers at home, I'm going to take the Chargers. Who do you got, Marcus?
Well, you know, I'm all in on Deshaun Watson, so I'm taking the Texans. You know, they're you know, DeAndre Hopkins, Fuller, like you said, the only thing that's working against them is, like I said, can Deshaun Watson stay healthy? You know, that hit he took last week. You know, he can't keep taking those. He got to learn how to slide, protect himself, and you know. But I think they'll pull one out. I'm all in on Texas this year, just like I was last year.
Herman?
Yeah, I'm going with the Chargers on this one. Home game for the Chargers. I just feel like you said, the concern with Watson taking hits and will he make it through the game? And I don't know. I don't feel like the Texans are a really good road team. So I'm gonna and that, like, they're still trying to work out their run game. I feel like too. So
yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Chargers. Even though it's funny because the Chargers, even though Melvin Gordon is sitting out. I forget who the guy is that's in there now, but
At Curry.
Yeah, he had a good game last week.
Yes, he did.
So he stepped right in. So they go with the Chargers.
It seems like Melvin Gordon is the least missed holdout.
Yeah, he might be. Yeah, in all honesty.
But the thing was, he should have known that because last year, when he was injured, they were still running the ball and being successful.
Yep.
And I think they went undefeated while he was hurt.
They were 5-0 without him in it.
So he should have seen that writing on the wall before he made this. But you did hear he's coming. He wants to play.
Yeah.
So he is coming back to the Chargers. I guess he realized that his holdout was worthless. So he is coming back. All right, Mark, who you singing? Are you lone wolfing?
No.
Oh, so Marcus is a lone wolf.
No, I'm not lone wolfing it. Chargers. I think Chargers had one of the better home field advantage, better home field winning records last year. I think they still they're a tough team to beat at home. I agree with you, Herman, on the Texans is not a good road team at all. So I'm taking the Chargers on this one.
All right. So I think that's another one done. We got that in the books. Not too bad. What time is it? Is it 9?
It is 9.
9:09. A little bit over. We'll work a little better on that next week. That's just a whole lot more going on. We want to give a little shout out to one of the founding juniors of our squad who's going to take over for us one day. Say hi.
Hi.
Say your name.
My name is Jordan.
And Jordan likes the
Cowboys.
What? This is
And Steelers.
Well, You get back on this show again, boy.
Marcus, take us out of here.
Before we leave, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, subscribe, like the channel, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Help us get those likes up. We'll see you this time next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. We out. Peace.